Welcome to Agile Principle Raw and Uncut with my buddy Roy.
I'm doing well, Phil. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm
Yeah,
alive. I'm 6 feet above ground.
that's always a good, if as long as you start the day that way, that's a good way to start it.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to start, especially since other things are supposedly, dead. Someone said Agile was dead. Who was that, Roy?
Oh yeah. So well, a lot of people have said that, and one of the primary individuals is a guy named Dave Thomas, and so I have a lot of respect for Dave. He is a good guy. He was one of the originators of the Agile movement. So and signer of the manifesto around the original group, the Snowbird Summit, all that stuff. And so I do have a lot of respect. So this is not a Dave Thomas bashing session, but so what you tend to see a lot out there are these headline grabber kind of articles or videos. Agile is dead. This is dead. This abandon this. Stop doing this. These kinds of things. And all it really is they're trying to grab headlines and get people to get the views. That's really what it is.
Views.
Now, I do want to talk about Dave's video, though. So in the video, he talks about Agile being dead, and he says lots of things about how Agile has turned into a consulting grab and dollar grab, and I agree with a ton
That's
of
true.
stuff that he says. Absolutely, right? I mean, I'm a consultant, right? We're both trainers. I mean, we make money off of teaching and showing others how to do Agile. That's not the primary reason that we're in it, of course, but it's an attractive thing. So let's say what it is. There is money in it. But it's his video. What I find funny about some of these things is, and Dave's video is no better. He says all these horrible things about Agile, and right about a minute into the video, he very quietly makes the statement that Agile is dead, but it doesn't mean you should stop doing it.
Mm.
Now, I want to focus on that, because what he's really trying to say is that there's a ton of problems with the Agile community and how consultant companies have gone in there and really kind of destroyed things, and as consulting companies tend to do. And they've turned it into an industry, and it was never really designed for that. The Agile Manifesto has some problems with it. It's very old, hasn't been updated, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that by making these grandiose headlines, the Agile haters grab onto all the bad stuff, and they completely ignore that one quiet little statement that he makes about it doesn't mean you should stop doing it. So what are your thoughts about that, Phil? I'm sure you've seen things like that.
Yeah, I think his statement about Agile is dead is really to provoke thought and to suck people in. And to be quite honest, I mean, let's check out the views that Dave has. I think Dave has 1 million.
That's
my
not
goodness,
bad.
1.2 million views on an Agile video. I mean, he obviously did accomplish what he sought out to do.
He might have monetized that also as well. Just saying.
Might have. Probably did. This is on GoTo Conferences YouTube page, So he's got a number of points, but like you said, people often miss the underlying current, and those vampires, they latch onto what they can and try to suck the life of anything left of Agile. But it's common sense. The moment you stop being Agile is the moment you actually are the one who dies, right?
Absolutely.
So it's kind of reverse.
Yeah, and I think people tend to focus a lot on the practices of Agile. And a lot of organizations completely abuse the practices. Scrum as an example. If you do Scrum the wrong way, it turns into a conveyor belt, a factory, and you're just churning and churning. You're focusing on the wrong stuff, and it can go. I've seen it go really, really badly, and that's not the intent. If we instead focus on the Agile culture, there's some value. The Agile culture is valuable because we're talking about some really good things, valuing people, self-empowered, decentralizing decisioning, servant leadership. These are all really, really good qualities regardless. And we've talked about this before, regardless of what practices you're following, these are just common sense things of how to build a great organization. Build projects around motivated individuals. Give them support and trust them. What a concept! Shouldn't that work for any practice? Right?
You would have thought. Exactly. You would have thought. And there are all sorts of comments. If you go through the comments, you'll see a mixture of those who are for and those who are against. They're always going to be the Agile haters those going to be the Agile bashers. And I think this was just fodder for them, for those people
Absolutely.
who look at Agile as being a joke. Some people actually look
Mhm.
at this as being, oh, it's going to crumble. Just wait and see. Well, we've been waiting 30 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still going strong. It's not a fad. It's sticking around for a little while. So it's interesting. Phil, I'm working with an organization, or have worked with an organization, where this video was floating around.
Oh, wow.
And it was floated around by some folks that, believe it or not, are very strong DevOps people. Now, DevOps and Agile are very highly related to each other. They're not exactly the same thing, but they're incredibly related to each other. And they were using this as an opportunity to say that Agile is dead and we should go pure DevOps. Well, we closed that one down because that wasn't exactly the view that we're trying, that the video was trying to promote, and it's really not a correct assumption. DevOps is fantastic, and Agile has a lot of great qualities as well. So these kinds of things, these headline grabbers, they tend to put out the wrong message. The wrong people grab a hold of these things, and they just take it as an opportunity. Look, here's a founder of the Agile movement, so we're saying the Agile's dead. Well, yeah, okay, we get the idea. So I do wish that they would kind of slow down those kinds of statements, and maybe, or at least maybe say, well, now that we've got your attention, and let's talk about the truth about Agile, and say that it still has a lot of value. It does. Will continue to have value as long as it keeps changing. And, it just, maybe we're using it the wrong way. That's really the message. A lot of organizations use it the wrong way.
Absolutely. So if you have got questions about anything Agile, you feel Agile is dead, you think you've got an argument, a rebuttal to what we've just stated, that Agile is very much alive and well, and it really depends on how you nurture the Agile mindset in your brain, in your head, in your company, in your organization. If you don't nurture it, well, of course, Agile will be dead to you. But if you do what you should, you nurture the principles, the practices. Like Roy said, there are some really great ones. So the people piece, if you harness those, especially, and offering value, you'll realize Agile is not dead. It's alive and well. So if you've got questions, Roy and I look forward to them, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.